Hey, what's up guys? Benny here and welcome to today's episode of Benny's Bootcamp, where we're going to be taking a look at the #1 ranked player in Warzone on PlayStation for both score and kills. It's ridiculous. He's had over 40 days played time, racking up tens of thousands of kills, and that is Doom FIFA Kill. His links will be down in the description below, but with all the time that he's put into the game, he's picked up so much stuff that we're going to take into our own game, and you'll see it, the way that he waits for kills, the way that he positions himself, and also his consistency. But one of the biggest learnings that we're going to get is also from the mistakes that we see in the gameplay that you're about to watch. One is a 35 kill game, and the other is 38 kills, and there are a few times that he gets downed and taken out, but first of all, let's just take a look at the class that he's using. He is using that class that I showed in yesterday's video, which is the Kilo MP5 setup. That MP5 setup, as you can see right there, as he annihilates that player, is the hipfire build, where you're using the 5 megawatt laser and sleight of hand rather than the collapsible stock. Now, this is the first bit that I want to kind of touch on, is this little play here, right? So if we have a look, right, he nails this person down with the Kilo, but he starts to finish, but then waits, right, when the cluster strike, because he knows his teammates are nearby, so he doesn't finish him off, knowing that his team are going to be drawn out, so he's going to have some easy kills. Downs that guy, exact same thing, right, and then gets an easy down, and you should be doing that as much as you can. Use enemy players as bait, rather than just go, oh, I've got to take it out. And also, every gunfight you'll notice, right, and this is something that happens when you're the #1 player in the world on those scoreboards, is the way you approach gunfights is the same every single time. He knows this map by the back of his hand. Like, watch every gunfight from here on out, right, and he'll do the same things. He'll jump shot, like you can see here. Keeps the arrow angle, the angle narrow by kind of hugging towards this wall, so he knows this enemy squad are ahead of him. Can just go forward now, jumps into it, and sprays. Easy kills. Right, then also slowly pushes in. It's also the way that he just moves himself into cover. It's so nice to see. I really enjoy watching it anyway. He ends up wiping out the squad. Here's another example. Shoots the guy down below. Normally, a lot of people would just jump down and chase him, right? But he pops his dead silence and gets a different angle from where he expects. And you can see that guy there was expecting FIFA to come up from behind him, but no, he's repositioned, he's staring at the stairs, gets an easy down. Now his entire squad is going to push him. You can see him with that by it being the bounty and also the map. Breaks that glass, they're now going to think he's potentially outside, which pulls them towards it, gets another down. Paul jumps in. This is a bit of an ego challenge. I'm gonna be honest, you can see from his health. This is like, oh, don't worry, my team's coming in. Worst case, best case, I get the kill. Worst case, I get down, and then the team clear it up. But personally, very risky to do that. He could have easily plated, get back up top, and then kind of play that. But team rolls in and wipes up that squad, which is nice to do. Now, this is the first mistake, and this is where ego challenges come into play. Now, you can do that. He'll do this 50 times, right, and we'll win 49 of them. But he potentially wouldn't do this in a tournament, would wait for his teammate, but he's running solo for going for those high kill games. But here, goes for the hip fire, misses those kind of shots as he goes into aim down sight, is not over to the right hand side of the body enough, and then just gets taken out, which is a shame. But that's one other tip that I really want to point out for a lot of people, is make sure that when you're entering a gunfight, go in from a right-hand side advantage. The side that your gun is, you're going to have an advantage in that gunfight. If you're going in from the left-hand side, like here, if the guy's peek on the right, that player's got the advantage just from how like the angles work with the game. Once again, you'll see FIFA do this time and time again, which is really nice to see. But running with the MP5, jumps into that when he goes around the corner so that he's ready to start firing as quickly as possible. And that's how he gets that shot down. Now, this is the important part. Right, if you notice, he knows the other player's there. Okay, so he's seen him here. Right, just finishes that kill, but then moves around, uses his cover, doesn't go and sprint, holds the position, knowing that he's going to have an advantage there, knowing that someone's on the roof as well. They can now play this angle and hold this because he's between the gas, and it's just a waiting game. Guy eventually jumps off and it's an easy kill, and it's the same again. Once again, they know someone else is up there. Sees him dropping down, rotates here, kind of using the gas as kind of like a way to kind of shuffle across while maintaining the power position. Hugging the wall once again so that he's not easily shot. which is something I always really like to see people do, is making sure that those angles are as narrow as humanly possible. You never want to be running out in the open, have nothing to kind of cover you. And once again, this is another example of why not to just necessarily ego challenge. Gets that kill there, goes to finish. This isn't actually a really ego challenge. This is just bad luck. Guy's hiding in the corner with Ghost, but he's once again pushed in solo, and you're going to get caught out. If you're playing in a game of quads, you're going to get caught out in situations like that. It's quite unlucky. Also, great thing here is I've noticed FIFA do it all the time as well. It always watches the kill cam, so he can then call out to his teammates how many are left, whereabouts they are. Something you should really get into the habit of doing. I know it's something that I'm quite bad at, is not watching all the kill cams and calling out everyone that I see. But, you know, it all works out. Once again, he got his revenge here, picks his guns back up, doesn't have his perks now is one thing to make, but manages to take out that squad nicely. And also, this is one of the reasons I love the kill. It's so clean. Though that guy just took out their chopper and took out 2 players with it. So lucky they were low enough where they didn't get killed by full damage. But straight away, I always like watching these back. Like, look how he goes around the corner. He jumps round the corner knowing that he's going to have his gun ready and can start firing as quickly as possible. And this is little things you pick. But wait, if you played for 40 plus days and you get to the top of the leaderboard, these little things that you're going to have in your muscle memory. Once again, here, not sprinting to the person, using the rock. If you look at this, right, he downs this guy. Nice and easy. Right, then kind of does that little wiggle, right, to get here, and then is making sure that he's using a rock and strafing from side to side. He doesn't go into any sprints. He wants to be able to make sure that he's shooting as quickly as possible. Here, pushing buildings. One of the hardest things to do in Warzone, especially now that everyone's running Origins and R9 shotguns, but he uses that cluster strike. Now, the cluster strike, for me, he used it a little bit early because he pushed people down before he got up top. Very lucky that guy wasn't pre-aiming him. Could have got taken out there, but then also his teammate is called, he's got downed by the airstrike, so he just, you know, just lets him bleed out. I think he was hoping for a self-revive so he could then, you know, pinch that kill. But this, clean as you like, just guy running up a hill, switch your assault rifle there, easy down. Now here, this is a really difficult situation. This is what no one ever wants to be in. It's a sandwich of 2 teams. He does a really good job getting away there and gets very unlucky to get clipped, but he straight away just crawls away, so he's in a good position and then relies on his team here, and then gets picked up straight away. Instant plating. It's something that when I'm playing like solo quads or with random teammates, is I notice people don't plate quickly enough, but straight away there gets called out by his teammate, managers take him out. But that plating should be instant. It doesn't always need to be the full plate, but it needs to be quick. Once again, holding the power position here. Perfect. Do a little wiggle, confirm that kill, and he now knows there's at least one other player there. So he can now hold this, where if you look at the circle's edge, he's coming in. So it's a very, very easy kill. Knows he has to run across the open, and it's a dream situation. Now, here is one of the... He knows it's one final squad left. There's 2 players, but it's very difficult for him here. So he gets that down and starts pushing. And it's the first time, if you watch his gameplay, that he doesn't check his sides, right, as he pushes. He's normally very good at checking the angles at all times. So here, he would jump, check the right quickly. And if he did that, he would have seen this guy pre-aiming him, which leads to him getting killed because he didn't check. So remember that in your game. Always check your angles as much as you can. But his teammates get him in because, you know, he's on for a big kill game. And as you do, you let your the person who's on for a huge score pick up the final kills. And there we have it. All right, a nice 35 kill game. Now, this next game is one that I'm actually playing with FIFA. And he goes off. Like, I don't have the best of games. I'm going to be honest. You know when you have one of those stinkers and you're like, oh no, it's going so wrong. But thankfully, FIFA was there to pick up the slack. And I love watching his early game. So it's all about getting your loadout as quickly as possible. You'll notice that with both the games that you've just watched, is that he gets loadout before he's even got any kills, which is always a nice way because you've always got an advantage. And our team, so playing with Barton, who you might have seen in my sniper video as well, playing with a team that got UAV, loads of cash from Superstore nice and early, and managed to get a VSAT in straight away. And like this, like, look at how he just systematically annihilated this squad. He waited there knowing that after downing those 2 teammates, knowing that he's going to push towards him. Sees this guy, gets that mount on, holding that angle, gets the finish on the kill. But it's all about playing off of how people react. And because he knows that person was up on the roof, went and grabbed the chopper to get map position. Choppers are so good for that. And if you can hold one, try and hold it as much as you can, because there's nothing else in the game that's going to allow you to move around the map as agile and always have the power position in a fight. So here, just annihilated someone down there using the holographic sight. If you can, try and get the blue dot. It may not sound like it, but it really does help with your accuracy, makes it really clean. I really want to focus on this fight because he gets that down here, and now this is where he's in a really odd position. So he's stuck in a 3v1 here. He's got 7 plates, so he's got enough to kind of like stretch this. He's also marked the king, so that's always good because it means that you can see his exact position. But once again, 3v1, not a good spot to be. It's quite lucky there, switches in and just makes sure it does it. But here, right, that is the key play here, which you can take into your own game. So if you have a look here, downs this player, but then is expecting the rush from the other players. He knows where they are, so he does that stun to try and catch him if he's pushing across, because that means he could then have jumped in, got them down when they're not really able to react too much. But now has this map position, gets shot again, keeps repositioning and getting those plates off and using the map to his advantage. Here, remember, right, he knew exactly where he was because of the mark. Now knows where the other player is because of the check, and an easy team wipe. Really, really important to do. Just play your opponents against each other and don't push yourself too much. Here, gets quite lucky. Big team fight. Nice and easy. Uses the VLK scope. That situation, you kind of want to use the MP5. And as I said, even players that are ranked #1 on the leaderboard in Warzone still make mistakes, right? Flew the chopper in there, clipped it. Quite unlucky, but gets very lucky here. Is plating. Here's someone on the roof. And if you notice, a lot of people always go to try and get all 3 plates on. Don't be afraid to cancel your plates if you're getting pushed. Straight there, nice and easy kill. Sees the guy on the floor, and this kind of fight just resets. So they go towards bank, holds the cover position, doesn't do any stupid like pushes. Once again, knows that people are going to, when you get a down, you're going to trigger a load of actions from the other team. And those are the actions that you want to take advantage of, whether it's people rushing out of their cover positions or third-party teams coming into play. There we go. Also really good. Most people there would have just run straight after him, but FIFA wanted to get map position. So he kind of pushes upstairs, doesn't rush for the kill, knows he's going to get it. He's in this fight now, and he's constantly repositioning, checking the angles where they could push. Here's the glass break, so he knows they're going to come in this area. So he plays around this, gets it down. Once again, this is a great example of not rushing in. Most people would have been off there. They'd have been like, zip, yippee-ki-yay, rush straight in, go for the thirst. He waits, checks his back so he knows that he's safe, gets to confirm. Once again, checks his back so he knows that he's not getting flanked, because he knows that's going to be an amount of time that it takes to get around. Here, he gets unlucky, right? He pushes around, but right, I'm just going to say here, he's lucky that I was around, right? Lucky I caught up, jumped in, cleared it up, but means we can get the res off. But he played that really well, got unlucky at the end. The guy held off nicely. This is something I wouldn't advise doing, right? Especially if you see he's gone off solo, nowhere near the rest of the team, and just kind of pops someone from the open. But see someone uses his stun grenade to get that push, makes it a really easy kill for him. But those are situations where you can get caught out. And here, great little spot. Guys crouching by a bin. And that player really should get the bin. Just hiding in the middle of the open. Just never going to work. But it's okay. I also am so jealous of Damascus count. Can you guys let me know what you think of Damascus down in the comments? Because I'm struggling to think. I'm not far off of it. I'm just trying to figure out if I should go for the grind and get the Damascus camo. I don't think it would take me too long. Straight away, nice little flank here. And I like that. Because he's got amped, he can just quickly switch. He thought the guy could be a little bit further away, so he switched to that kilo, so he'd be able to do this. And boom. Once again, mistakes were made, right? Even people that get 35, 38 kills in a game make these sort of mistakes in the point. Got overzealous once again, right? Gets that crack, just just wanted to get the thirst and put himself in a bad position. You notice when you put yourself in a bad position, when you're solo against squads, you're going to get taken out. Thankfully, he had the gulag, was able to comfortably go in there and win it, and then do a little regain to bring everyone back into the game. Here, another thing you should be looking out for when you're playing Warzone, all right, is look for the small details. Shadows. You can see here, and you see the shadow movement, and then suddenly Thief has started pre-firing the second he saw that shadow because he knows he's going to get challenged, able to get that down nice and easy. Here, top of the roof. It's sad the Bruin's not as good as it once was, but can still drop people nice and quickly, as you just saw. I feel like you just need to run a commando foregrip on it now rather than the tac laser. And this is, once again, it goes back to something we saw earlier in the game. Shooting people off of rooftops. Having the gas forcing them off a roof. These are positions you want to be in Warzone because they've got to jump. They have no choice. And it's like shooting fish out of a barrel. Like, honestly, they'll just run at you, and it's the easiest kills you'll get. Just hold the position, make sure you've got cover behind you. If you can, have a teammate check behind so you don't get flanked yourself. But then you'll get some of the easiest kills ever. Holding the gas. This guy took a little bit of a longer route, but straight away moves into cover. Second he hears the cough, like takes that second just to get himself into cover so he doesn't get shot. Always have those in your mind. He hasn't got to number 1 by accident. Even though he's racked up a lot of time played in the game, being number 1 on kills as well means that he's consistently having to get kills at a rapid rate to stay up top, because it's a very competitive game right now, and he does the same thing every time. All right. And it's no mistake that he's getting these scores all the time because of the way that he plays. Here, gets quite lucky again. Once again, we always mark kings when we see them just so we know their exact position on the map. Airstrikes, so useful if you want high kill games. UAV is really good for kind of figuring out where teams are, but stuff like that, it's one of the only ways you can push players off of rooftops endgame in downtown, which I hate downtown. I cannot wait till downtown disappears. This is an amazing fight. I remember this because it was so hectic. I think FIFA gets like 6 or 7 kills here in about 30-40 seconds, but they're just pushing over using the bus as that cover point. Here he gets quite lucky, gets stunned, but is able just to kind of drag his aim across to pre-aim. Thankfully he had down that guy beforehand, gets that kill. Another person jumps away, and because we knew FIFA was on for a high kill, you'll notice there everyone kind of parted ways a little bit and let FIFA finish off his kill, which is always nice to see. Something you should do if you're playing with your friends. If they're on for a big game, support them, help them out. It's always nice to do. Great kill with the MP5 there. It's not his weapon variant. I also love this. Like just when people are on the rooftops, it's so difficult to play on the ground, but FIFA does this so well. Keeps tight to the walls so people can't get the angles on him, and then listens for parachutes. And this is how he's just able to take this squad out. And I think we find the final person over here, and we're all just pinging him going, he's here, he's here. So FIFA does this, comes over, but he is the number 1 player on the scoreboards for PlayStation for score and kills. Do go check him out in the links below and tell him we said, like, say hi in the comments from Benny. But yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. See you next time.